Hello. I'm going to try this again. I did a recording, no sound. So, I don't know what it is. It's like I want to do a video. I think it's time to do a video, and I have to do it more than once. And that's very common. And I have said before, I really give props to people who've been doing this for a while. It's like not as easy as it seems. But anyway, today, my video, it is, I am asking Kamala Harris, the new administration, what is their plan going forward with COVID? I really am having trouble with the way COVID is being handled in a lot of ways. When you consider this is the most educated country in the world, supposedly, and it's one of the wealthiest countries in the world, supposedly. And because I don't have, I'm speaking like supposedly because I'm not, I don't know it all. Okay, I know only what I know, but and I don't know that much. But what I do know is that supposedly, right, we're supposed to be this wealthy, brilliant country that everybody wants to be in. Um, right now we have this virus that, well, we can't seem to, for the life of us, even agree well enough to whether or not we wear a mask. And if you wear a mask, I think you're a Democrat. And if you don't wear a mask, I think you're a Republican. I think that's maybe how this is looking to me, but I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm just saying what I see. Okay. But what I do know is that I have stage 4 cancer and that I want to live. Okay. And I don't want anybody to decide for me whether or not I should be exposed to the virus. And I realize that there are people who feel, depending on whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, that the virus has only killed a few people. It's not even as bad as the flu. That's what you tell yourselves. And then there's the people on the other side. They tell themselves it's really deadly, and if I get it, I'm going to die. Okay, and I don't think either one of those things are true either. Um, and I think we're really mixed up. I think we're really confused about what's true and what's not true. But I do know this, that I'm really ill. My body is sick. And I've actually already had COVID, so I can kind of speak from some experience. And I was very lucky to live through it. Uh, so, because it impacted me terribly hard, and it took me about 4 months to where I could feel like I could catch my breath. It took me about 6 months before I could taste my food a little bit, and I'm delighting in the fact that I can actually smell right now. But why I'm doing this video, I want to ask Kamala, what are they going to do to help arrest this virus? And I know that a lot of people are operating in fear. They think that Biden and Kamala are going to come on the scene and there's just going to be these militant changes. I just don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's going to be different than what we've been seeing. But let's just ask the cards. Okay, what do we, because we obviously are not doing what we need to do to respond to this virus, or we would be like a lot of other countries getting somewhat of a handle on it, or we wouldn't have this outrageous number of people sick and whatnot. So, and I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, and really don't want to be limited to that kind of thinking. I like to have a little bit more open in my noggin. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my 14 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, there it is. Yep, I find it very hurtful that people don't think through this whole thing about this virus. Um, I think that we have to be careful in how we go forward. A lot of our information isn't correct, and what we get is the King of Wands, this fire energy moving in, and Kamala Harris is a Sag rising, and she's fire dominant. So um, honestly, interesting. We'll just go ahead and do the reading. That's the foundation. Okay. And it starts out with the star. Okay, there is hope. Oh my goodness, thank God. Because this has just been, to me, I mean, I voted for Biden mainly this time because really I voted for Kamala Harris. I'm very excited about her. So the star card. This is probably going to be my Kamala card eventually, but we'll just see. I mean, I don't know. Time will tell me. What it's being crossed with is death. Us needing to rip our guts open and look at who we are from the inside out and get some clarification. Because certainly by not wearing a mask, we're telling you something about ourselves. By wearing a mask, we're telling you something about ourselves. But deep down inside is where we need to be going, each and every one of us. And we need to be asking ourselves, instead of making a statement outward, we need to be making an internal statement that resonates with our soul. So perhaps wearing a mask is something that you do because your conscience dictates that's the best thing for everyone and not just me. So it is a soul searching kind of moment. This death card is a soul searching kind of time. Then we get this King of Cups, this newly elected President Biden, who's coming forward. And of course, he is a water energy, and I don't know his sign. I am going to do a natal on him, an astrology read on his natal chart, just because I'd like to kind of see what kind of leader is he. I mean, I realize that he was a vice president, but a vice president is someone who walks in the shadows of the president. It isn't the president themselves. And with Biden, I've had a hard time getting a lock on him because I just kind of feel like in some ways he kind of still functions in the shadows. And that might be by design at this time because of perhaps some of the chaos that could be had if he was too arrogant or coming forward a little too heavily. And you can see that he does have this something tied around his ankle, kind of holding him to the chair. That right now he's not even really able to do what he needs to do to come forward. But he is putting his team together, but he's a bit tied up, and he's got one cup that's kind of haphazardly up in the air, where he is trying to make connection to it. So this is a question of what is Kamala Harris and Biden going to do in response to this virus. And what we get is the Four of Wands, that they are looking at the structure of things and they are getting ready to take action. Part of this is for them to get a plan. And that all by itself is comforting, because I don't believe that we've had in the past necessarily a plan. I think that what we had was that we were just going to continue to make our way forward and see where we fell. And that's kind of what happened. That's how we have so many people with the virus now, is because it's what do they call that when you get everybody gets it. Anyway, that's the kind of energy we've had for a while, is that there's almost an insistence upon getting you sick. And for some people, that's not any big deal. They get it. They don't have any problems. But for people, again, like myself, who are struggling with major medical issues, this virus is deadly. And I can tell you, it knocked me out of my socks. I mean, it was just awful. And in my brain, I was out of my mind. So, I mean, and here we go, this illusion and delusion, this Seven of Cups. And it is reflective of the relationships that we have with our people that we love. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care who you voted for. You may think you know who you are today. But no matter what, we're all kind of functioning in illusion and delusion. There's no one side that's better than the other. And we need to knock it off. All of us need to knock it off. It's not helpful to point the finger at someone else. It just isn't. We need to point the fingers back at ourselves. We need to do that internal work, because without that, we're not going to get to the bottom of it. But the question remains, what are Kamala and Biden doing about it? Well, it looks like they're aware that we're in illusion and delusion, and Biden is looking to get untied from the chair and grab hold of the cup and get a hold of the problem. Okay, and then we get Kamala saying, I'm going to ride in on my lion and I'm going to show you what strength looks like. And oh my goodness, do we need this energy? This is called leadership, people. And we need to be seeing this. We need her to bring in that red passion, that love, those flowers of love, and help us to heal. I'm very excited about Kamala. I'm so excited. I bought a Kamala deck, and I will be reading on Kamala. And I'm not a political reader, but Kamala is worth my time. She is worth my time. I am so excited. Okay, and then we get this Three of Cups. There's going to be some exchanging of information, and our relationship to the information is going to change. It's going to go into a Mercury process where we go in and we look at the science and determine the solution and come out of it as better people. We're going to change our relationships with each other through this process of healing. Something kinder, gentler is moving in. We get the King of Discs. Largely, this, for me, is the virus, is deeply entrenched at this time. It is everywhere. We in California, where I live today, went to purple. I don't know what that means, but I think it means that the virus is really picking up. Okay? In our hopes and fears position, we get the moon. And when I did this reading before, I got this card in the exact position. And you can see that there are two dogs howling at the moon and an all-knowing eye, a pyramid in the center, holding down court. They're howling at the moon. The moon is listening, but something kinder, gentler, and more grounded is moving in. We get the Five of Wands, the Medusa head. Okay, it's quite toxic right now. It's quite toxic in our conclusion. And as things go, she's going to bring forward this loving relationship energy, this more connected to the human energy. I think part of our problem has been that politically, the Medusa head is the corporations that want action against the people. And it has felt to me like we have been actively involved in a war. And now we have this Nine of Cups that has been brought in to bring us some much needed, loving energy. That the past is about to be the past. And we have the Five of Cups, just that the past is going to be in the past. So spilt cups, just keep in mind that not all cups were spilt. That out of the five, two remain standing, and here we are. We have ways to go forward. That is comforting. And then we get this Princess of Cups, someone bringing forward this way that is more loving and more cohesive, that is going to help us have better relationships. And I do believe that I see better relationships coming. You know, that if you voted for Trump and your spouse voted for Biden, this is going to kind of smooth out. That as we transition here, things will get easier. And as we conclude in that sense, we get the Hierophant. The government is going to go back into the business of leadership. Now, I am not Democratic. I am not Republican. I voted for Biden only because I wanted Kamala. And I wanted Kamala because Kamala, in her natal chart, has a Sag rising, which means she's very honest. She's very clear, clean, and to the point. And she has an Aries moon. She will not tolerate crap. And with this, I'm going to go ahead and ask my Moonology card to give us a message, to give us hope moving forward. As the moon listens, I would like to have the moon tell us what we need to know. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, the Moonology card. And I'm just going to spread these off to the side. All right, and what we've got, Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. Things are going to get house and home. Life itself is going to come back into perspective. Okay. What does that mean? I don't know, because I think some things have changed. Conclusions are within reach. Things are coming together. Things will conclude. Things will improve. Okay. The climax approaches, and thank God, because all of us are tired. All of us need a rest. All of us are ready to be nursed back to health. You and your loved ones are safe. And notice that hard crab, that Cancerian energy. It's loving. To be a Cancer is a container of love. It is your mother. It is the moon. It's how we listen. It's how we hear. Be bold and make the first move. So yes, here we go. I'm coming out and I'm saying it's time for us to quit being caught in the negativity of our situation that we've been in and to come out and see that we have something new, to be bold and to make the first move, that we can come out with something new and improved. And with that, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And do join me on www.twiggy, Twiggie, myself and Pearl Rowland, our readers. And we do now offer numerology. I will be adding that to our lineup. And with that, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And thank you so much for joining me here today.